Shanti. This is the Sakar Murli of 7 of November 2022. Essence. Sweet children, make effort to rescue human beings who have forgotten the Father and become trapped in the quicksand. Churn the ocean of knowledge and give everyone the Father's true introduction. Question. Which religion does the Gita scripture belong to? What significant things are to be understood from this? Answer. The Gita scripture is the scripture of the Brahmin deity religion. It is said, salutations to the Brahmins who become deities. You wouldn't call it just the scripture of the deity religion because deities don't have this knowledge. Brahmins listen to the knowledge of the Gita and become deities, and it is therefore the scripture of both the Brahmins and the deities. It is not said to be a scripture of the Hindu religion. These things have to be understood very clearly. Incorporeal se Baba himself and not Sri Krishna is giving you the knowledge of the Gita. Song. Neither will he be separated from us, nor will our hearts feel sorrow. Om Shanti. Baba sits here and explains to you children very well. Which Father? The Father from beyond this world. A worldly father wouldn't have so many children. The Father from beyond has so many children. Brackets, souls who remember him and call out to him. O Purifier, bestower of salvation for all, O Supreme Father, Supreme Soul. So they call out to him as their Father. It is incorporeal God, the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, who speaks. There is only the one incorporeal God, not two. It is in the intellects of you children that God is the highest on high. Where does He reside? He resides where souls reside. When you say Ishwar, Prabhu or Bhagwan, brackets God, it doesn't have the feeling of claiming an inheritance of happiness. When you say Father, you remember the inheritance. However, people don't know the Father. According to the drama, the people of Bharat bring degradation to themselves by following Ravan's dictates. Therefore, first of all, explain that Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar are beings with subtle bodies, whereas human beings are those with corporeal bodies. However, no being with either a subtle or corporeal body can be called the Father. Only the incorporeal Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is called the Father. What mistake was made that took them into degradation? By listening to the true Gita from the Father, there is salvation. Therefore, first of all, give the Father's introduction to anyone who comes. This is the main thing. But it doesn't sit in anyone's intellect, and this is why Baba has had this poster printed. Is the child Krishna, or is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, the God of the Gita? Which religion does the Gita scripture belong to? It is right to say that it belongs to the Brahmin deity religion. Just as the religious scripture of Christians is the Bible, similarly, the Gita wouldn't be the scripture of just the deity religion. The Brahmins also have to be included. It is said, salutations to the Brahmins who are to become deities. Baba has told you that the deities don't have knowledge. They don't even know that the Gita is the scripture of their religion. Brahmins have knowledge. The Gita wouldn't even be called the scripture of just the Brahmins' religion because the Father establishes both religions. This is why it is said to be the scripture of both religions. There, people say that the Gita is the scripture of the Hindu religion. They even say that it is also the scripture of the Arya religion. Dayanand established the Arya Samaj brackets 1875. That is a new religion, but they don't belong to the deity religion. The main thing is, who is the God of the Gita? They have inserted Krishna's name in the Gita and falsified it because their intellect's yoga has broken away from me. Look how many things they have shown in the Gita and how there is so much respect for the Gita Pathshalas. The deity and Brahmin religions have now disappeared. Worshippers say, salutations to the Brahmins who are to become deities. They don't know how the Brahmins became deities. Who will tell them this? The Father says, I make you into the mouth-born creation of Brahma and then make you into deities. Therefore, the Gita is the scripture of the Brahmin and deity religions. You can't say that it belongs to just the deity religion, because Lakshmi and Narayan don't have knowledge. These things have to be understood. But who will explain them? Shiv Baba tells you that the flames of destruction emerge from the sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Rudra. There is so much difference between the sacrificial fire of Rudra and that of Krishna. After this sacrificial fire of knowledge, there won't be any material sacrificial fires in the golden age. Now they create sacrificial fires to remove their calamities. There are no calamities there for which they would have to create a sacrificial fire. In the Gita, it mentions the sacrificial fire of Rudra, and it also says God speaks. Therefore, the truth in the Gita is like a pinch of salt in a sack full of flour. All the rest is false. Shiv Baba does not churn the ocean of knowledge. It is Brahma and the Brahma Kumars and Kumaris who have to do that. At this time, people are completely trapped in the quicksand. It requires a lot of effort to get out of quicksand. This is why they call out to the Father. The Father says, you have to conquer Ravan. the 5 vices. Then, in the golden age, you living beings are in happiness. Whenever you go to a spiritual gathering, you ask them about these things. There is no question of being afraid. All are in darkness. Death is just ahead. Whereas they say that 40,000 years of the Iron Age still remain. That is called extreme darkness. All of them are sleeping in the sleep of Kumbhakarna. It is said that God comes to give the fruit of devotion and that He gives salvation. Therefore, you must be in degradation. If the name of Shiva, the Supreme Soul, were mentioned in the Gita, everyone would accept him. So it was truly the incorporeal one who taught you Raja Yoga. There is no question of a battlefield. How could he give such great knowledge on a battlefield? How would he teach Raja Yoga? There are 4 main religions and there are 4 religious scriptures. There are now innumerable religions, scriptures and images. It is now in the intellects of you children that Shiv Baba is the highest on high, and below him there are Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar, and then in the corporeal world there are Lakshmi and Narayan, and then their dynasty. At the confluence age there are just Brahma and Saraswati. That's all. When people create a sacrificial fire, they create a lingam of Shiva, worship it and then sink it. They even worship images of the goddesses and then sink them. Therefore, that is the worship of dolls, because they don't know their occupation. His praise is that he is the purifier, so how does he purify impure souls? You yourselves now have to awaken and also awaken others. That is, you have to give everyone the Father's introduction. They don't know the Father. Those people simply earn money by telling religious stories. What happens through that? You can also go to the Vidut Mandali and explain to them. Everyone will definitely have to die in this war. The flames of destruction continue to emerge from this sacrificial fire of the knowledge of Rudra. They continue to write about how they have created so many big bombs. Therefore, destruction also took place through them in the previous cycle. In the previous cycle, it isn't that they disposed of the bombs at sea. So destruction still has to take place now. They speak of those who have divorced intellects at the time of destruction. Who has this? The Kauravas and the Yadavas. It is now government of the people by the people. Therefore, have hundreds of thousands of posters printed in the all languages. You definitely have to print them in English. Continue to distribute them wherever there are Gita Pathshalas. Your address should also be written on the posters. The Father gives directions, but it is up to you, children, to follow them. It is written, Shiv Baba, So Shiv Baba is the father and Brahma is also the father. Therefore, you children are to receive your inheritance from Shiv Baba and not Brahma. Even Brahma receives it from him. Baba has explained a lot that you must first of all write the father's accurate introduction in the Gita magazine. Those who are to become Brahmins will quickly be shot by an arrow. Otherwise, when they are given something, they throw it away. Just as if you give a book to a monkey, it would immediately throw it away. It wouldn't understand anything. This is why the Father says, "Give this knowledge to my devotees and those who study the Gita." In that too, it is those who have it in their fortune who will understand. The Father says, this is hell. All the children who are born here continue to cause sorrow for one another. They continue to bite one another. They have sown a river of poison in the Garud Puran, but that doesn't really exist. This world is hell. You children know that you were residents of hell and have now become residents of the confluence age, and that tomorrow you will become residents of heaven. This is why you are making effort. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long-lost and now found children, love, remembrance and good morning from the mother, the father Bap Dada. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children, and the spiritual children says namaste to the spiritual father. Night class, 23 of March 1968. The highest on high is the one God, who is the Father. Whose Father? The Father of all souls. He is the Father of all the souls in all the human beings. All the souls who come to play their parts definitely take rebirth. Some take few births, some take 84 births, some take 80 births, and some take 60 births. All are human beings, bodily beings. Even though Lakshmi and Narayan ruled the world, at that time there was no other dynasty in the new world. None of the bodily beings can grant anyone salvation. First of all, there is the sweet silence home. That is the home of all souls. Even the Father stays there. That is called the incorporeal world. The Father is the highest on high, and the place where He resides is also the highest on high. The Father says, I am the highest on high. I definitely have to come. Everyone calls out to me. All human beings definitely have to take rebirth. Only the one Father doesn't take rebirth. Everyone definitely has to take rebirth. Any founder of a religion is said to be an incarnation. They speak of the Buddha incarnation. The Father is also called the incarnation. He too has to come. Now all souls are present here. none of them can return home. It is because souls take rebirth that there is expansion. While taking rebirth, all have become Tamopradhan at this time. Only the Father comes and gives knowledge. The Father alone is knowledgeful. He has the knowledge of the beginning, middle, and end. He alone is called the knowledgeful and blissful one, the peaceful one, ever pure. Human beings, however, become pure and impure. Lakshmi and Narayan are the first ones of that dynasty. They have to take the full 84 births. They take rebirth here. Then at the end, the Father comes and purifies everyone and takes them back. The Father alone is called the Liberator. At this time, the founders of religions are present here. A few souls still remain who are continuing to come down. Expansion continues to take place. The bestower of salvation for all is just the one Father. He is making us into the masters of the land of peace and the land of happiness. You take the full 84 births. Those of you who came first will return first. Christ will come at His own time. Christ does not have the power to take anyone back. Only the one Father has the power to take everyone back. At this time, it is the kingdom of Ravan, the devilish kingdom. During your 84 births, the vices have entered you all completely. The Father says, you were the masters of the deity world and you then became vicious in the kingdom of Ravan. Everyone definitely has to take rebirth. It is not possible for them to establish a religion and then return home. They definitely also have to sustain it. It is remembered, establishment of a new world takes place through Brahma. There is also the destruction of the old world. In the new world, there was just the one religion and one deity dynasty. That does not exist now. There are just its images and all other religions are present. Apart from the one God, the Father, all bodily beings definitely take rebirth. Bharat is the imperishable land. It is never destroyed. It is imperishable. There were no other lands when it was their kingdom. It was just their kingdom. There was just the Sun dynasty and the Moon dynasty, no one else. The new world is called Heaven, the deity world. The incorporeal world cannot be called Heaven. That is our sweet silence home, the land of Nirvana. No one except the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, can give knowledge to souls. A soul is a very tiny dot. The Father of all souls is the Supreme Soul. He is called the Supreme Father. He cannot ever take rebirth. It is now the end of the play. This whole world is a stage on which the play is being performed. The duration of it is 5,000 years. This is the most auspicious confluence age, when the Father comes and makes everyone the most elevated of all. Souls are all imperishable. This drama is also imperishable. It is a predestined play. Those who have been and gone will come again at exactly the same time. They were the ones who came first. Lakshmi and Narayan do not exist now. This is the true company of the truth. Acha, love, remembrance, and good night to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found spiritual children. Essence for Dharana. Number 1. Churn the ocean of knowledge and rescue human beings from the quicksand. Awaken those who are sleeping in the sleep of Kumbhakarna. Second, remove your intellect's yoga from subtle and corporeal beings and remember the one incorporeal Father. Connect everyone's intellects to the one Father. Blessing. May you become completely pure and experience the elevated stage of purity by becoming a true Vaishnava. The definition of complete purity is very elevated and easy. The meaning of complete purity is that impurity should not touch your mind or intellect even in your dreams. This is known as being a true Vaishnava. Even if you are a number-wise effort maker, the aim of your effort is to have complete purity. This is easy when you have the company of the Almighty Authority Father, who makes the impossible possible. Slogan. An easy yogi is the one who makes effort in an entertaining way instead of stubbornness or labor. Slogan. An easy yogi is the one who makes effort in an entertaining way instead of stubbornness or labor. Om Shanti.